All right, this update is not going out for public consumption, but this is where we're going to go into more of the details of what happened last night at the ER visit. I'm going to entitle this video "How to Expedite Your Life Insurance Claim." I'm not going to name names of the hospital. Um, we're in Arroyo Grande. That could be a clue. And it's a hospital that's closest to us. You know, you could go up to San Luis Obispo, I'm told, and get good hospitals in Santa Maria, but we went to the close hospital. Not a good idea. I first walk in, and I look really pretty bad, like death warmed over. Stuff literally oozing out of my eye, and I can't talk very well, can't breathe very well, and so throat's almost closed. It's so swollen, and earache, and been throwing up for 2 or 3 hours, and so I walk up, and they're like, "What brings you in tonight?" I'm like, it's hard to communicate. I'm thinking if you would just look up at me, you'd see at least the eye part, but looking down at the screen, and it kind of went downhill from there. Except only bright spot was Shelly's next door neighbor. It turns out is a nurse that works there, so she was good. Her part was wish she was the nurse I actually got. She was the nurse that handles the triage on the way in. Anyway, this place was comical. That's how bad it was. They weren't busy, so they can't blame it on that. They were just lousy. We were there, I don't know, an hour and a half maybe, and they did a grand total of nothing. I told them I'm fighting leukemia, lymphoma, colitis. You can throw that in the mix, and then I got whatever kind of crazy infection I've been fighting here for almost a month. You'd think, like a normal hospital, unfortunately, had some experience since the cancer battle started. You go to a real hospital, they do blood work, they hook up an IV. I mean, they do real hospital things. They did none of those. None of those. In fact, they kept asking me if I have a fever. When they checked my temperature on the way in, I'm like, did you read? I don't know if I had a fever. They didn't tell me what the temperature was. Did you read the chart? Did you? It's comical. So they're doing nothing, like lots of nothing. And Shelly's getting increasingly frustrated as the doctor comes and goes and the nurse comes and goes, and finally she can't stand it anymore, and so she starts asking questions politely. And poor Sela's having to sit through this whole thing too. And so one of the questions Shelly asks is, how can you tell if someone's dehydrated? Like, that's a hint. He's dehydrated. So the nurse goes, oh, that's easy. He reaches over and grabs my hand, right? And he pinches it. And it stays in the pinched position. Like it stays sticking up. And he goes, that's dehydrated. And he reaches over, pinches her hand, and it snaps right back. And he goes, now that's how it's supposed to look. And it didn't occur to him to do anything about it. I can't swallow. And what would a normal hospital do? I think they would use an IV to hydrate you. But he was not getting the clue. He answered all her questions about the same way, like they were theoretical, and doesn't do anything. The nurse finds out, or the doctor finds out that I'm on some pretty strong pain meds, and after that, she goes, would you like something for the pain? Now the pain last night was high, real high. I said, yeah, I'd like something for the pain. She goes, okay. We could do Motrin. We could do Tylenol. And I looked at her like, she goes, which of those usually work best? I said, none of them work at all. So, no thank you.
I have cancer.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, okay. She seemed to get upset when she asked, are you treating? That's code for, are you on chemo? And I said, no. And she's like, oh. As if to say, die then, If you don't believe in our Western medicine, you deserve what you get. I didn't feel like I needed to go in with her that I've already done 8 months of that hellish stuff. So it gets better. He says at one point about the exercise stuff, he's like, no, you shouldn't be doing that, pounding on your body and stuff. I said, I'm not lifting weights, I do this workout and I run. He goes, that's too much. Yeah, it's too much. Like he's an oncologist, right? The oncologists have told me they think it's one of the reasons I'm still alive, because your lymph system won't circulate. They want you to. They tell people to run, but nobody will. They won't walk. They tell all the patients battling lymphoma of this kind, get a little mini tramp. That's not a short person who's sleazy. It's one of those things. They tell you jump on one of those to help circulate the lymph system, and they've told me the running is key. But this guy, of course, what does he know? He's an ERRN in AG. I can't say that. Anyway, so he's like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. A little while later, he's like, man, you're fighting like 3 or 4 serious things. You look really good. You look strong. You're going to beat this. I think you're going to beat this because you run every day. Like, you just told me I shouldn't run every day, and now you're telling me I'm going to beat this because I run every day. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. So at the end, we're going to leave with nothing. Like, they've done nothing for anything. Not to treat anything. And so
no blood work.
We were pressing the issue a little bit, and like, what would you recommend I take to help with some of this stuff? And they gave us a prescription for stop me from throwing up. Zofran. And he had a couple other recommendations for over-the-counter drugs, and he's like, she asked, well, where can we get this filled? It's 4 a.m. by this time. Oh, you just wait it out, man. By 8 o'clock, they're all open. You'll be fine. Like, I'm at the hospital. You guys don't have this stuff here? Like, do you have Motrin here? Do you keep Motrin at this hospital? He's like, I can't give you Motrin because you got something, the colitis stuff is not good for your tummy. You can't do it on an empty stomach. I said, give me some damn Motrin. So I want Motrin. So he's like, oh, well, let me go talk to the doctor before she closes out the chart. I'm like, ask for Motrin, not Demerol. It's a non-prescription, over-the-counter. But he had to go talk to the doctor. And somehow he got to approve it. I was astounded. And he came back with the biggest Motrin tablet. Okay, I'm doing it to scale here on the camera, about that big. I can't swallow anything. I can't swallow my own saliva. That's how bad it was. That's why we're at the hospital, right? And after he does the dehydration thing, and I can't swallow anything, it doesn't occur to him to hydrate. Well, so then he brings me crackers and orange juice. Says, you can't have this on an empty stomach. And I'm like looking at these crackers, even the orange juice, even water felt like razor blades at the time. So I'm like, what am I going to do with these crackers? So I thought, I'll do the saltines instead of the graham crackers. They'll dissolve better, right? I can't tell you how painful it was just to open my mouth and put the stupid saltines in my mouth. I got one cracker down. It was extremely painful. And then I swallowed this huge horse pill, right? So his cure for somebody who can't swallow is, I'm going to give you some food and some drink and a big old pill. Normally I don't have trouble with pills, but when you can't swallow, a pill that big is huge. The long and the short of it is, if you're the beneficiary on somebody's life insurance policy and you'd rather have the money sooner than later, take them to this particular hospital that I won't name. They don't have to really be in a life-threatening situation. These folks can probably help you anyway. They could finish you off, and you're not going to have any blood on your hands because you took them to the hospital.
Oh, and then they charged you 3 times the amount.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a $50 copay for the hospital, and they come up with a bill of $210.
It's like extra bonus.
$210 for a Motrin.
For the graham cracker.
It might have been the graham crackers.
Yeah, I don't think you told them about that part.
Graham crackers, saltines, and OJ. So I guess for $210 it's not that bad, actually. A lot of good material. We're laughing about it still. It wasn't funny at the time, though. Truly wasn't funny at the time. So that's the rest of the update. We're just going to share that with a select few. Don't share it, any place out there, because, I don't want a lawsuit on my hands for telling the truth about how horrible that hospital is. So, see you guys. I'm not planning to go back there anytime soon. They did a good job last time, though, gluing my head together. Well, sort of, but that's a story for another day. Love y'all. Talk to you soon.